Hello everyone. Okay, this is the 2023 Future Dialogue for Global Innovation Session 1. This is the first session. I am Jung Jae-hee, MC for the session. Before starting the session, here's a housekeeping notice. We have foreign speakers and participants, so we provide the simultaneous interpretation.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first session of Future Dialogue for Global Innovation 2023. I'm Jae-hee Jung, your MC for today's event. Before the section kicks off, let me brief on some announcements. We cordially ask all guests to enter the hall and be seated. And to minimize disruptions, please check once again if you turn your mobile phones off or into a silent mode. This conference will be held in Korean, but Korean-English simultaneous interpretation service will be provided, so please feel free to use the receiver on your desk. Channel 1 for Korean and Channel 2 for English. And do not forget to leave your receiver on your desk when you exit the hall. Thank you for your cooperation. 네, 포럼을 시작하기 위해서 참석자 여러분들 모두 자리에 착석 부탁드리고요.
Then, ladies and gentlemen, please take a seat and make yourself comfortable. And please make sure your cell phone is kept in vibration mode. And for those who need to make urgent phone calls, please do so outside the venue. And the pivot language of today's forum is Korean, but we are providing simultaneous interpreting services. So for channel number 1, that's for Korean, and channel 2 for English. It'll be appreciated if you put translation receivers on the desk when you go out. So we are streaming live through the Foreign Affairs Ministry official website and KOREAZ. For English, you can access the KOREAZ. And if you have any questions, please make sure you type your questions on the YouTube chat box. And then we also have a lucky draw event for those who participate at the YouTube chat box. In addition, it would be great if you also join in the screenshot event. And after the end of the forum, for those who participate in the feedback survey, we will send gift of cards through a draw. Also, you have a QR code on your name tag, so if you take a photo of QR code, then you can join in the survey. The theme of the first session is the influence of popular culture styles and fandom. I'm pleased to introduce the culture critic who will lead the session, Mr. Kim Young-dae. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome him. Good morning, I am Kim Young-dae. I'm the chair of the first session, but I used to be a presenter often, so I feel a little nervous of being a chair. The weather is freezing cold today, and we're talking about pop culture, and Young-ji Lee actually tried her best to, make the energy go up, and David also made a really passionate presentation, sharing fun stories, but I don't see the tension is going up as enough. So before beginning the main session, the session number 1, I would share my story with you. It's an icebreaker. Well, I'm quite old actually, so do you remember the themed song of 1988 Olympic Games, which took place in Korea? The group's name was Bending Band. There was a behind the story. That time, the organizing committee for Olympic Games wanted Korean artists to sing a song, but they couldn't find one in Korea, so they actually found a European artist based in Europe, and then they also tried to find someone else who wrote a themed song for LA Olympic Games, the Italian American. So George wrote a song, and the title of the song is Hand in Hand. And I think you remember the song. So in my generation, you now remember there is a very impressive lyrics like hand in hand, breaking down the world, and so on and so forth. So, fast forward, looking back on the 3 decades, the lyric was quite daunting, I would say. That time, Korea was still at the developing country. We just started the democratic system in earnest. But that time, we already talked about universal value. That time, we were so poor, we're so marginalized country. And then, well, actually, the singer was Korean, although that person was working in Europe. And that time, it was about vision. And 3 years later now, BTS is the most prominent band in the global stage. And they go to Qatar Olympic Games and they sing a themed song for Qatar Olympics. So let's think about the past 3 decades. When I lecture in colleges, we sometimes ask foreigners to close their bands and we ask them to remind any boy bands. And we ask them to think about who come to their mind. Then 9 out of 10 says BTS. And how about girl group? Then they say Blackpink with 4 members. This is significant change over the past 3 decades. We say we like BTS, Blackpink, and Korean Wave, but we cannot really manipulate their mentality, right? But they themselves take Korean stars as iconic pop culture. For example, there is iconic images like when we search smartphone, the Apple phone comes up, right? Just like that. So Korean artists are representative of boy groups and girl groups. And that is significant change, I would say. And how we can maintain this kind of wave is something that we have to think about. Then what should be the secret? K-pop has been successful so fast, and K-pop has been influential across the world. And what is the secret? That is fandom, as mentioned by David. So, like-minded people, those who share the same values, are constructing the fandom. So, the influence of popular culture stars and fandom is the theme of the session 1. We have 2 speakers. I'm sorry I spoke too long. Okay, so we have Ms. Kim Ju-ok, professor of Texas A&M International University, and Lee Da-yeon, an activist for K-pop for Planet. Then first, I would like to introduce Ju-ok Kim. And the professor will talk about celebrity speaking power.
I think I need to lower the tension because I'm a scholar. From my perspective as a scholar, I'd like to keep some certain distance from the main topic and to interpret, to provide a somewhat different interpretation. I'm going to speak in Korean. Please use the translation receiver.
Thank you for having me today. I'm Ju Kim, an associate professor at Texas A&M International University. I'm studying and teaching the power and beauty of communication. So I'm so deeply delighted to be here as a part of this exciting event that we see each other and talk about the future, a better future, through conversations about culture. I will discuss today what celebrities can speak about and why their speeches are so impactful in contemporary society. On May
On May 31st, 2022, the last day of the Asian American and Native Hawaiian Pacific Island Heritage Month, BTS visited the White House to discuss anti-Asian hate crimes, Asian inclusion, and diversity. Each group member delivered their message on these issues on that day. Jimin said they were devastated by the recent surge of hate crimes and expressed their willingness to lend their voice on these issues. JK talked about the feeling of experiencing the power of music that has united people worldwide, transcending languages and cultures. Suga focused on equality, saying it is achievable when people accept their differences. During their visit, the group met with President Joe Biden, who pointed out the social significance of their messages. Previously, the group's leader, Kim Namjoon, made an iconic speech at UN General Assembly in September 2018. Thinking back to the difficult days in their career, he addressed the young people in his Speak Yourself message. He mentioned that during the launch of UNICEF campaign Love Myself, he realized the impact of their messages to their supporters. Receiving numerous messages from fans saying the group's words helped them overcome hardship in life, Kim Namjoon said he felt he was responsible for urging young people to have a voice regardless of their social identities. So these recent speeches show the power of celebrities in the contemporary world, not just in the domain of pop culture, but also in the area of civic engagement and public diplomacy. Recognizing the changed social status of these individuals, we could raise a series of questions. How do celebrities obtain the public's attention and trust? And why are they rhetorically powerful? And how do their speeches draw participatory actions from young generations? To answer these questions, we should look at how celebrities act and how their actions have consequences within and across societies. David Marshall, one of the leading scholars in celebrity studies, redefined celebrity as a possibility of democratic capitalism. In a capitalist system, celebrities should enhance their commercial values by attracting consumers' attention to their performances and characters. In doing so, they can bring new kinds of values and orders to a democratic society, embodying the potential of an accessible culture. In other words, by using their fame, celebrities can extend the influence of entertainment culture to other socio-political activities. Such extension can happen when celebrities contribute to building effective connections with audiences. Once their public characters successfully attain audiences' attention and trust, these effective connections between celebrities and audience are powerful enough to deconstruct the boundaries of entertainment and socio-political activities. And celebrities should become strategic about representing their public selves because their public characters are the backbone for developing effective connections with mass audiences. Media is the central space where celebrities interact with a large audience. So celebrities use the media to improve their public recognition and social impression. To raise public recognition, they extensively expose themselves on various media platforms, from television and newspapers to YouTubers and Twitters. To manage social impression, they control their speeches and actions in the media. Media capital has become one of the most important factors extending a celebrity's influence from the entertainment industry to socio-political areas. As Marshall points out, in contemporary society, various media channels and platforms turn into cultural regimes where celebrities perform as social representatives. To perform these new roles, celebrities not only enhance their media exposure, but also develop media performance skills, knowledge about media practices, and connections within the industry. And media and communication technologies have consistently transformed what celebrities should know about media activities. In the past decade, online media has reshaped the boundary between the public and private, and ultimately the meaning of intimacy. So in the virtual space, we may have different views on what disclosure means and what intimacy refers to. Online culture promotes a more widely accepted celebrity culture and accepts a certain relentless exposure of celebrities. And network systems have expanded effective connections between famous individuals and ordinary people on a global scale. By actively using social network services and digital platforms, K-pop celebrities have dramatically increased people's access to their daily lives and reconstructed themselves as publicly intimate figures. And digital technologies have lowered the bar for celebrities to produce and transmit text, images, and sounds. So by using these production tools, celebrities have transformed the media from a space of representation to a space of presentation. Once audiences recognize that celebrities become more subjective in presenting themselves in this new media environments, they pay more attention to and trust what celebrities talk about and what celebrities act for. For example, K-pop celebrities have attempted to construct themselves as genuine figures by sharing personal stories. During their speeches, BTS members revealed their experiences as Asians, and their stories echoed minorities who have struggled with social prejudice. Similarly, in RM's speech, he mentioned feeling insecure during his training days, which urged the young people in crisis to become courageous enough to speak up for the help. A story can be powerful and persuasive once the audience can relate to it. If the storyteller has an intimate relationship with the audience and the audience believes the storyteller is genuine, the story is way more powerful. That is how K-pop celebrities have embodied a new type of storytelling by breaking cultural, linguistic, and ideological barriers. Traditionally, we understood power as the probability that one actor carries out their own will toward others. Another definition of power was to communicate with one another and act together. This conceptual transition from power over to power with has become prominent in comprehending the power of celebrities in social activism. The emotional attachment that audiences have toward the celebrities has turned into participatory culture. K-pop fans were not merely touched by celebrity speeches and actions about social issues, but they also generated collective actions from social media activism to campaign donations. Over the years, we have heard the news that the K-pop fandom has participated in human rights campaigns and educational programs, often in the name of K-pop idols they support. According to Henry Jenkins, who proposed the concept of participatory culture, young generations are early adopters of new media. They use social media to speak up once they recognize social oppression. He also emphasized that participatory culture could blossom when young people believe their contributions matter and they feel they belong with one another. In his argument, we can find the reasons why K-pop celebrities' online posts, media interviews, and public speeches can mobilize their fans quickly to act together for voice of civic engagement. However, the celebrities' speaking power has long been the subject of skepticism because it is invisible, emotional, and spiritual, rather than rational. In that view, some problematized the celebrity endorsements oversimplifies philanthropic issues. Others questions the social influence of celebrities' messages with the view that celebrities reproduce systems and positions, including their own positions as an individual agent with extraordinary power, resources, and global politics. As scholars pointed out, we should not exaggerate what celebrities can speak about, because under the logic of institutional management, their messages can be controlled. Nevertheless, we should not underestimate how much celebrities' words echo in young people's minds. They draw young generations' attention to controversial issues in global politics, which few people can do the same in this contemporary world. In March of this year, in an interview with a Spanish newspaper, El País, Kim Namjoon attempted to challenge stereotypes of K-pop celebrities as subordinated and manufactured individuals whom international media amplified in the past decades. BTS fan account BTS Chart Spain immediately translated his word into English and circulated them via social networking services. By rewriting the history of the K-pop phenomenon in his own words, Kim Namjoon embodied the importance of understanding differences with respect. More importantly, based on effective connections with his fan networks, driven by new media and communication technologies, K-pop celebrities diversify the meaning of celebrity power, demonstrating the potential of post-colonial and peripheral individuals to offer universal and powerful messages of love, unity, and solidarity, overcoming long-standing marginalization and subordination. Once they speak genuinely about the context that makes a difference, these messages can inspire audiences to make efforts toward respectful unity and inclusion, regardless of their backgrounds. About 2 weeks ago, 17, another K-pop group, delivered a message of solidarity and hope to young people at the UNESCO Youth Forum in Paris. 1,000 fans and representatives from 173 countries attended to listen to their speeches. 4 days later, Rose, a member of Blackpink, delivered an engaging speech on mental health at the Asia Pacific Economic Leaders Week in San Francisco. By confessing her loneliness in an environment where she has always been the subject of criticism, she emphasized the importance of mental health for young generations. As shown in these cases, K-pop idols have increasingly engaged in humanitarian and philanthropic campaigns and have shown their potential as representatives who speak for and interact with young generations. Whatever they say, skepticism about their agency remains. However, their speeches, even now, generate collective actions from young generations somewhere in the world. Thank you for listening.
네, 좋은 발표를 해주신 김종 교수님.
Thank you so much, Professor Joo Kim.
그런 생각을 해봤습니다. 아까도
So I thought of this.
그 연예인
In her presentation, she mentioned celebrities,
재정의할 것인가 하는
and she said how we can redefine celebrities
얼마나 뭔가를 바꾸고 있는
and
거에 대해서
how much
여전히
they
일부는 남아 있죠. 하지만
brings about changes into our society is something that we have to think about.
하셨지만 저는 굉장히
It's still in question. And she said it's about their uniqueness, and I think how attractive they are is a very important factor. We are watching videos, and sometimes we ask celebrities to speak and to make a keynote speech, and they are quite famous through images and videos, and their popularity, like how many people view their videos, are very influential in making them very famous.
자체가 사회를 바꾸는
The number of
바로
views
하는 우리
and
문제는 여전히 남아
the number of fans are not necessarily 100% equal to social change. There should be some bubbles and there should be something that we have been missing,
유명 인사의
but still
그것들이
celebrities' words and their
수 있는 가능성에 대해서 특히
speeches
K-pop
have been very influential. BTS and RM were case in point in her presentation, so we have to pay attention to them and others as well. And one thing noteworthy for me is this. Well, before then,
저보다 나이가 많으시거나
I will tell you about this. Those who are in my generation or older,
저희 때 팝의 아이콘은 마이클 잭슨이라고
Michael Jackson was the iconic singer in pop culture. But when BTS visited the White House and also spoke in the United Nations, and for the first time in its history, the United Nations actually opened their space
인물이 마이클 잭슨이었어요.
in the promise for BTS performance. And people thought of Michael Jackson at that time. In 1980s, Michael Jackson donated quite a lot to African countries and raised a lot of fund with the song of "We Are the World," and Heal the World Foundation was also established under the auspice of Michael Jackson to fight against AIDS.
그 당시에도 지금도 이 미국이라는 나라는
So listening to her presentation, it was a reminder of Michael Jackson. The U.S. is at the center of the world. As Professor Kim
메인스트림의 문화니까
said,
그런 대표성이 더 힘을 받을
the
수밖에
U.S.
없는데
culture might be a mainstream, but amazingly,
한국이라는
the
나라의
K-pop,
가지를 봤을 때 그 정도의 대표성을 갖지 않은 상황에서
which is not necessarily representative in terms of the size of the country, has been spreading, and they are spreading positive signs and positive messages throughout the world. I think this is because of a very unique character of K-pop with a very unique fandom, and that is the power of the songs and K-pop. That's what I thought. Maybe we can have some discussions on it. So I may ask some questions to Professor Kim. Now the second speaker, Diane Lee, campaigner for K-pop for Planet. And she's talking about K-pop fandom's power as climate activist, which is also something very interesting for me. So, Ms. Lee?
Hi everyone, I'm Dayan and I'm the campaigner from K-pop for Planet. I'm originally from South Korea but based in Tokyo, Japan, because I'm an international student at the Japanese university. And I came to Korea to attend this amazing event. And it's such a pleasure and honor to be here. But to be honest, I'm a little bit nervous because there are too many great people in front of me. But this would be a great opportunity to appeal to K-pop fans' activism. So yeah, please listen carefully to my presentation. Today, I'm going to talk about K-pop fandom's power as climate activists. You might know the soft power of K-contents and K-pop. Like in 2022, on YouTube, the K-pop category videos reached more than 64.3 billion views. And on Twitter, the K-pop tweets have reached more than 7.8 billion. So it means that K-pop has strong power and it has become one of the cultural phenomena around the world. But I believe that there are still some stereotypes against K-pop and K-pop fans. What do you think of when you hear K-pop? I guess you may imagine just fangirling activities and being enthusiastic with the K-pop idols. But I think this is not true. So today I want to break down these stereotypes. Actually, the K-pop fans were doing climate action before the K-Popper Planet was launched. For example, there is the Forest Project. So the K-pop fans are fostering forest under the name of their favorite idols. And they even do some social activities. Like BTS fandom's ARMY donated $1 million to the Black Lives Matter movement. So like this, K-pop fans are very reactive, and they do not hesitate to raise their voices against social issues, including climate crisis. So we thought, what if we can collect and gather all those powers and use it to contribute to relieving the climate crisis? We thought maybe we can make the better society and the bigger changes. So that's how K-Popper Planet started. So we are the online platform doing climate action with K-pop fans around the world. And then I'd like to talk about my personal story as the K-Popper Planet campaigner. I have been a big K-pop fan since an elementary school student. And since there are too many good K-pop groups, it's really difficult to choose only one favorite group, but I would pick aespa. Is this too much information? But anyway, and I also feel interested in climate crisis when I was a high school student. At that time, I felt interested in reading news articles, and I saw that more and more articles started to talking about the climate crisis. And I felt, oh, this is really real threatening issues to me. So as the person who lives on the earth, and as the youth who will live in the future, I decided to join the youth organization in Korea. So through that organization, I was connected to another Indonesian campaigner, Nurul. And since we have same interests, K-pop and climate action, we quickly became close friends and started the K-Popper Planet. And now we have 8 activities in K-Popper Planet, and we also have the ambassador program for the K-pop fans who want to join our activities flexibly. So since the K-Popper Planet is an online platform, there is no limitation on border to join. So probably you can join as well. And now I'd like to talk about one of the most iconic campaigns of K-Popper Planet. It is called No K-pop on a Dead Planet. So let me give the simple background of this campaign. So all K-pop fans were aware of the biggest issue in the K-pop industry. It is the physical album waste. So in the K-pop culture, K-pop fans have to buy the same album multiple times, and there are several reasons for this. The first reason is that there are random photo cards. Like the current K-pop albums have several components like CD, stickers, and photo cards. And K-pop industry knows that the K-pop fans are eager to collect all those random photo cards. So they put more and more photo cards in the albums. And as you can see on the slide, there are even some companies that put more than 100 photo cards in the album. And the second reason is that the fans want to apply the fan sign events. The fan sign events is the offline events that K-pop fans can meet the K-pop idols in person and have chat together. So most fans are eager to join it. So to get more possibilities to join the fan sign events, they buy more albums. So, and the third reason is that they want to support the idol. So in K-pop industry, the sales of albums directly connected to the score of the idols. And based on this score, the idols can win the award at the music award. So it's the way that K-pop fans show the love and care towards the K-pop idols. So they buy the same album multiple times. And all K-pop fans think it is okay to buy the same album multiple times to show the love towards the K-pop idols. But the problem is that the K-pop entertainment companies just publish and sell those albums and do not take any responsibilities with those physical album wastes. So we asked the K-pop entertainment companies to solve those issues and take more broader climate steps. So we gathered more than 10K petitions from fans from more than 90 countries, and we delivered them to major entertainment companies through the National Assembly Forum. All right. But the entertainment companies did not respond to us, so we decided to take another step that collected more than 8,000 unused albums from K-pop fans, and we even did a dance performance in front of the Hive Entertainment, which is the BTS company. It's such a shame that I cannot show my dancing skills here, but maybe next time. So finally, the entertainment companies started to be changed. For example, SM Entertainment published eco-friendly albums and joined the UN Global Compact. YG Entertainment reached KOREAZ 100 for the first time among the K-pop industry. YG Entertainment also published eco-friendly albums, and this year they measured the carbon emissions in the Blackpink concert for the first time among the K-pop industry. And Hive Entertainment, one of the BTS members, J-Hope, released his solo album in the digital platform album that can minimize the physical album wastes. And all these major companies released ESG reports, and this means that they care about the environment. So we are looking forward to seeing them do more climate action. And there is also another issue in the K-pop industry. K-pop fans do mass streaming to support the idols. And this mass streaming means that K-pop fans listen to their favorite idol songs all day on the streaming platforms to make their songs be on the top of the chart. But the problem is that the K-pop Korean streaming platforms use the data centers that use the fossil fuels. And when we did the survey among K-pop fans, they said they do mass streaming for more than 5 hours a day. And this means like it's twice as the normal people's listening to the music. So K-pop fans think we do not want to feel any guilty while listening to our favorite idol's songs. So we also deliver the petitions to the music streaming services. We asked especially to the Melon under Kakao, because it is the biggest streaming platform in South Korea. And we did the dance performance again. And finally, Melon answered to K-pop fans' voices, and they promised us to move all data to the data center that uses renewable energy 100% by 2030. So this is also one of our great achievements. But not only the K-pop issues, we also talk about other climate issues that are not directly connected to K-pop industry. And Save the Butter Beach campaign is one of those examples. So BTS shot the album cover of Butter in Samcheok Mengbang Beach in Gangwon-do, and that became a precious photo spot from K-pop fans around the world. But the Korean government decided to construct a new coal power plant here. Of course, it is heartbreaking for fans to see the new coal power plant is being constructed in this beach, but that's not the only point that the K-pop fans were worried about. We sincerely worried about the carbon emissions and the climate crisis. So by cooperating with another Korean organization called Beyond the Coal, we delivered the petitions to the National Assembly and asked them to enact the coal phase-out policy and cancel the construction plans. However, the petition did not meet the requirements for a legislative initiative that needed to be signed by at least 10 members of parliament. So unfortunately, construction is still in progress, but the K-pop fans would not stop and would not give up. And now I'm going to talk about some ongoing campaigns, and Hyundai Drop Coal is one of those campaigns. You might know Hyundai because it is a very famous automobile company in Korea, and it is also well known for the electronic vehicles and some sustainable images because they promoted sustainability with the ambassador BTS. And K-pop fans also have good images toward Hyundai. But the problem is that Hyundai is trying to buy some aluminum from the Indonesian corporation that is trying to build a new coal power plant in Indonesia. So all the K-pop fans, especially Indonesian fans, were very disappointed with this news. So we are asking Hyundai to reconsider the contract and make real clean, sustainable electronic vehicles with clean aluminum. And next ongoing campaign is the fashion campaign, which is called High Fashion, High Carbon. So nowadays, a lot of luxury brands are enacting K-pop idols as brand ambassadors and targeting young K-pop as their future customers. But what we found is that they harming the environment and future that the K-pop fans will inherit. They say they care about the sustainability, but their carbon emissions are actually increasing every year. So we decided to ask them to stop greenwashing and switch to renewable energy 100% by 2030 in the supply chain and disclose more information about the energy mix that they use. So we even did the truck advertisement in 6 different cities, including Seoul, New York, London, Tokyo, and so on. So we are waiting for the luxury brands to respond to K-pop fans' voices along with the COP28 conference. As you can see from all these campaign examples, K-pop fans are already making changes and having great impacts in terms of climate action. So by taking step and step, I believe K-pop fans can also change the future of the Earth that was already warmed by 1.2 degrees Celsius. So if you know any K-pop fans around you, like colleagues, family like your son and daughter, or even friends, please do not look at them with the stereotypes. K-pop fandom is a mature community that's changing the world and doing the campaign activities in power of love and care. So yeah, please keep an eye out for our activities and see what kind of changes that we are going to make from now on. Yeah, thank you so much.
네, 너무 재밌게 들었어요. 네,
Thank you very much. It was really interesting.
그 스테레오타입에 갇혀 있지 말라고 하셨는데.
Yes, you said we have to get out of the box. Yes, but fan building is one of your activities, right? It's
그럼요.
also a
저는
very
늘
important part
팬이죠.
of your activities, right? Yes, of course. I'm forever fans. Yes, we have to be frank.
얘기 듣다가 그 생각을
Yes.
했어요.
Listening to what you said,
단어를 쓰는 거 보면 이 사람
the word that you're using can show the energy and passion that you have, right? So listening to your presentation,
귀엽다.
I thought that you're so cute. I'm sorry to say this, but being cute can save the earth. That's what I think. Let me tell you 2 things. We would not stop. That's what she said. Yeah, it has really strong and powerful intention. We are already making actual changes. We are already making actual change. That's what she said. Yes. It says that we are changing the world indeed. That's what she want to highlight, right?
뭔가를 바꿔낼 수 있는 사람들인가? 아까 BTS
So why
RM의 사례도
does fandom
효능감입니다. 효능감.
bring about changes into society? It's because of effectiveness and efficiency, I think. It's an experience that they have had. And that kind of effectiveness is also used in the psychological field as well. If you have a very good experiences, then you become more confident in doing something, right? So fandom, the K-pop fans have very positive experiences, right? I am a journalist, and I'm actually the culture critic. So not just the ordinary journalist. So I usually cynic, but as a player and joining in the campaigns or in some cultural activities, we have to be objective. But also I myself think that I have to make a contribution to their activities as well, and that she is the one who has made a great deal of contributions to such changes, I think. Do you still purchase CDs, CD albums? Do you purchase CD albums? Okay. Except for K-pop fans. Okay. Then do you purchase CD albums to listen to music? I don't think so. But during the pandemic,
전 세계에서 이건
across the
공화국에
world,
나와 있죠.
which was
전
actually
세계에서
published
유일하게
in a report,
음악 시장에서 그
the
상승폭을
one
시장의
and only
상승폭을 기록한 그 음악의 어떤
music that has shown a
번역
dramatic
얘기가 있어요.
increase
라틴 음악하고
is
에이시안
actually
음악이다.
Latin and Asian
라틴 음악은
music.
요즘은 뭐 라틴 음악이
So-
워낙 대세니까 뭐 그렇다고 친다고 할지라도
So
아시안
Latin
음악이
music
된다.
is
그것도 우리가
yeah,
파고 들어가 보면 그중에
that makes sense.
K-팝입니다. 근데 K-팝이
But
단일
Asian
국가로는
music
유일하게 작년
and
동안
K-pop
성장한 나라였어요. 근데 어떻게 그게
show
가능했을까?
a dramatic
음악 산업이라는 게
increase
두
in
개로
music industry
이루어지잖아요.
during
음악은
pandemic.
투어 수입, 투어 콘서트.
And music industry
콘서트는
makes
팬데믹 때문에 못
profits through
그런데도
music
여전히
concerts
이
and
CD
tour
세일을
concerts,
통해서
right?
K-팝이
But still,
사실은 성공을
by
거뒀다는
selling
겁니다.
CD
이게 우리가
albums, K-pop
하나의
has been
불편한
successful.
진실처럼
This is
갖고
a
있는
little
부분입니다.
uncomfortable truth,
K-팝 한류의
but
성공의 뒤에
CD
사실은 아까
albums
우리가 계속
have made a great
비판적으로
deal of
봐왔던
contributions
CD 세일즈가 큰 몫을
to
차지했다.
success
그리고
of
CD 세일즈를
K-pop.
가능케 했던 게 아까
And
말씀해 주신
what
뭐
made
포토카드, 포카라 그럽니다. 우리
It's so
전문용어로.
successful,
포카.
and
그리고
that's because of
그 안에
photo
있는
cards,
그
photo
팬
cards that she
팬
mentioned,
사인회,
and
초대권입니다.
application or
팬
invitation for
초대권이에요.
sign event.
제가 얼마 전에 그 블랙핑크 그 솔드아웃 됐던
Recently,
블랙핑크의 공연을 정말 운 좋게 초청받아서
I had an invitation for Blackpink, of which tickets were all sold out, but I was gratefully invited.
CD랑 뭐 이렇게 포토카드가 들은 그저
Also, I received some items, CDs and photo cards, and I was in the lineup, and someone actually touched my shoulder in the line, and that was a foreigner.
트레이딩 포토 카드
And the foreigner asked me to trade photo cards. So you want to exchange photo cards? It's like a sentence that can be only easily understood among fans, maybe.
이런 것들을 어떻게 누가
Of course, the foreigner didn't know that I was a culture critic, so
변화를 이끌어낼 수 있을까? 그래서 아까 이다현 씨 발표하는 내내
yes, but we have to tackle that issue as well, the environmentally unfriendly items in CD albums.
그리고 이제 현대까지 그래서
And she also covered the campaigns over Hyundai. So these campaigners are quite bothersome for companies,
실제
but
actually changing
the bothersome can change the world. And she emphasized
토론을 좀
actually
토론 이어가
they have made a change. So let me continue the discussion. I actually prepared some questions,
그냥 먼저 생각나는
but let me just throw some questions from popping from my brain. First, my question should go to Lee Da-yeon. So for the conglomerates, you have been campaigning over them. Well, maybe they can be in the front and they don't really listen to your voices, but if you have made a change, maybe how did you
사실
do
저희가
that? And
캠페인-
is there anything that you were frustrated about? Yes, during this campaign, we delivered a message to the government and companies. While we are designing a campaign, we felt frustrated and stuffy because they are conglomerates and they are largeable, and we were not 100% sure about if we can really change them. But they understand our voice is quite powerful, so they try to listen to our voices, and they have been responding to us. So not only just the culture, the voice of
여전히 아쉬운 부분들도 몇
K-pop
개 있는데요.
fans are
근데
quite
기업들이
powerful.
이제 K-pop 팬들의 목소리에 응답해 주면서 대답을
And when they are
해주지만
responding to us,
환경을 신경 쓰겠다고 말하면서
and they say that they are going to be responsible for environment, that they are still passive, I think. So I ask you them to be more cautious and careful and caring about our voices to make a real shift and substantial shift. Okay, so everyone is watching you at the global level. Can you please mention one company that you think doesn't really listen to you? So the name of an entertainment company? No, it was kidding. It was kidding.
근데 저는 들으면서
So,
좀 불편할 수도 있는 질문인데
well,
우리가
this
뭐
might be a little
좋은
uncomfortable
어떤
question to you, but of course we are trying to make a positive
저도 평론가로서 많이
effect.
느끼는
But as a
부분이지만
culture
K-pop
critic,
산업이
I myself feel this way. The K-pop industry is quite unique. There are some complicated interests involved in fandom. So overall, they are just the K-pop, but by artists and the members of the groups, there are so complicated interests and interests are conflicting each other. So it's a little hard to reach a consensus. Well, something is good for this A, but that is not good for B, something like that. So that kind of paradox and ironies, did you go through? And if it happens, how do you resolve it? Well, about what you said, we have been thinking about it too while we are designing campaign. Although we are all K-pop fans, but our favorite groups are different. So how can we mobilize K-pop fans might be your question, right? So the K-pop fans usually are mobilized together to share the common issues and to move together. That's the character of the K-pop fans, and that's why when we ask them to be together with us at SNS, then most of the K-pop fans resonate with our concerns and join in our campaigns. Because climate crisis is not just something far away from us; it's just threatening us, right? So they raise their voice all together. Okay, so for photo cards, which are quite realistic, how can you change it? How can you make a shift, right? Yes, no K-pop is on dead planet. That was the title, the slogan of the campaign, right? And then we raised our voices to the album producers, and our request is the green album option. So one of items waste are serious issues at the moment. So green option is popping up for restaurants. So maybe entertainment companies can produce the green option albums. So maybe the green option is like to have just some specific items of the album. For example, you don't have to buy all the albums many over and over again. Rather, you might just pick the photo cards only. So if entertainment company listen to us carefully, then they are going to say yes to us someday. Yes, we have to send some pressures to them, I think. So maybe those who are listening to the discussion, you may just ask a question or chat box. Live streaming chat box on YouTube is the place where you put your questions. And please ensure you click the subscription and also thumbs up.
I have a question to Professor. One of the words they used to caught my attention, authenticity. You mentioned about the speaking power of RM. Do you interpret it as general power of K-pop stars or some speaking power of BTS? BTS has a unique characteristics. Can you tell me about this? Authentic. Do you think being authentic it is something that exists? Yeah, we are presenting something in an authentic manner. From my thoughts, we receive some messages of the celebrities through the media outlets, and they present their messages well. And from currently, BTS is an authentic artist presenting their authentic messages. So you asked the question whether the BTS's way of communication is somewhat different from general methods. That we have had authentic artists like Sotaejo or other K-pop stars. At the time, the way they introduced their messages was somewhat different because BTS now the group is living in a different time. I think we are living in a different time. With the different methodologies for communications, I think that we have had authentic artists, but the environment, the media environment have changed. Yes, that it was the media environment that have changed. That is why I think the communication methods have been changed. From this time, perspective, I think the BTS is wonderful. It is amazing. However, I think that, yes, they imitated the conventional methods of communication. They just slightly changed the way of communication along with the changed environment of the media.
저도 굉장히 동의하는
I
포인트가
absolutely
있고,
agree
많은
with
분들이
that
그래서
point. Yes.
BTS라는 뭐
Many think
팬들이
that
있어서 물론이겠지만 BTS라는 그 위대한 아티스트가 갖고
BTS
있는
is a
이런
wonderful
영향력이나
artist. It is a socially,
메시지나 이런
it
것들이
has
이들
a
이후에도
big social
가능할까에
impact,
대해서
and
사실
still
걱정을 하고
there
우려를
are many
하는
people
부분이 있어서
wondering that
한번
whether
질문을
their
드려봤어요.
impact can be sustained.
어찌됐든 이게 조금 더 파워풀하게 전달될
On
수
and
있었던
on.
건 그 진정성의
However,
방식은
their speech
아티스트마다
is anyway
다르겠지만
powerful
BTS가 보여줬던 뭐 Love
because it is
Yourself이나 Map of the
authentic.
Soul이나
Love
Speak
Yourself, Map the
Yourself이나
Soul,
이런
Speak
것들이
Yourself, those
그들
songs
음악과 실질적으로
sung by
맞닿는
BTS.
접점이 있기 때문에
I
더
think
효과를
there's a
거둘 수
kind of
있었던 게 아닐까라는
touch
생각은
points.
드는데
That is why their messages are so successful.
제가 중요하다고 생각하는 거는
The point I think
K-pop
important
아이돌들이
is
자기들이 왜 다른지에 대한 그 사회적 맥락을 설명하는
K-pop idol stars. They are explaining why they are different
보통
too.
사람들이 K-팝을 비판할 때 이거 manufactured다.
Social
얘네들
context-wise.
굉장히, 메시지도
Some
어떤,
critics say that they are the K-pop management company. They are mass producing K-pop content,
어느 정도 다 컨트롤하고 있을 거라고 생각을
and
하잖아요.
they think that
근데
most of the
사실
messages
지금 되게 많이
delivered by those K-pop
안에서
stars are being
그들의
controlled.
방식으로 자기들을 계속 보여주잖아요. 그죠? 근데
But that is not the case. They have developed their own way of communication. In an interview with the Spanish El País newspaper, and the interviewer, he said like this: I think that your system is dehumanizing the singers. And to the question, RM said that like this: okay, my answer will not be liked by the management, my management.
어느 정도 회사의 그 정책을 넘어가지 심지어 그렇게 말하지만 넘어가지 않을 거라는 걸 알아요.
We all know that, okay, there is a kind of certain line that RM will not cross. There should be certain guideline. But within the guideline, RM said that, of course, we have certain feature like that, certain aspect like that. However, we already try to be better. Okay, he shared his own personal perspective. That is an important point. That is a touchy point. He explained why they are different, why their approach is different.
사회적 조건 안에서 계속 우리가 싸워 나가고 있잖아요.
We are living in similar, different social conditions, but we try to overcome, we try to challenge the conventional conditions. And their message, their different messages influence the fandom. So that is why their speech is so powerful. I think that is important message.
의미 그 자체보다는
The message has a meaning, but rather than meaning itself,
맥락에서 이야기를 하고 있는가 그리고
the speaker
많은 사람들이 이제 BTS
has a different context. Yes.
방탄소년단의 메시지의 힘을 이야기할 때
When you talk about the power of the BTS message,
뭐 에릭 프롬의 뭐걸 Art of Loving을 인용한다, 뭐 칼을
they
이용해 뭘
quote
인용한다 했을 때
Art of a
그
Woman of
이론을
Eric.
과연 뭐 심리학자보다 더 깊이 있게 말할 수는 없겠죠.
Of course,
근데
the singer
오늘 계속
cannot
이야기하는 이
delve
셀럽의
into, I mean, as
파워라는
deep
결국
as
그것을
the psychologists about the
의미
main
있고
message.
가깝게, 그리고
However,
가장
they
중요한
can
이 authenticity 조건은
deliver the message
일관성이라고
that the general audience can relate to in a constant manner.
그래서 제가 요즘 K-pop 스타들의 그런 사회적인 발언이나 영향력 중에 재밌다고 생각하는 건 뭐냐면
So the fun
내 지금의
point is,
위치와 빗대어 표현을 한다는 겁니다.
okay, they share their story, which
우리가 뭐 이런 보편적인 가치를
anyone can relate to.
나와 아무 상관이 없는 이야기들을 하면 당연히 설득력이
So
없을 텐데
philosophers, okay, they say something which is quite distant, which we cannot relate to easily.
말을 쓰셨는데
You mentioned about post-colonial, which is interesting to me.
알고 있었던 뭐 마이클 잭슨, 비욘세 이런
Michael
사람들이
Jackson,
했던
Beyonce.
메시지와의 또 차이라고도 저는 생각이 드는데
I think that's a different point from the messages by Michael Jackson or Beyonce.
위대한 영웅
By which message we are influenced? Are we influenced?
메시지도 나에게 오지만
Of course, there are some famous figures, their messages can resonate with us. However, sometimes we are influenced by someone
제가 얘기했던 그 친근
around us.
분야를 바꾸면서
They changed the basic concept of affinity.
나와 가까이 있는 사람으로 존재하게
They think
만들잖아요.
they are,
봤을 때이
the
친구의
fans
느낌이
think
이미지가
that
굉장히
the
커요.
celebrities are
생각해보세요.
someone. I mean,
세상에
they
수많은
are
나라들이나
they are like
사회들이
close friends.
포스트콜로니얼을 겪고 있는 사회들이 많단 말이에요.
Many societies have
근데
experienced the
과거에는
post-colonial
그런 큰
times,
얘기를 할 수
post-colonial
있는 사람은 항상
developments.
승자
But
혹은
in the
뭔가를
past,
더 가지고
only the
있는
winners
말씀을
are the ones
했으니
who can
우리
say about that,
서구의 스타들만
who could
그런
say
얘기를
about
할수
it,
있다고
like Elvis
생각하는데
Presley or
이
the Michael
친구들이
Jackson, the big pop stars in the Western world. However, now this K-pop star,
역사조차도 가지고 가져와서 이런 조건들
they
우리가
brought
극복하면서 난 여기까지
some
왔어.
historic
그렇죠? 그 조건들
tragedy,
때문에 우리가
and
이런
then
한계를 갖고
they
있는
mentioned
거라고
that
얘기를
by
했을 때
overcoming the
그런
tragedy,
조건들과
they
싸우는
have
친구들에게
opened new
굉장히
possibilities.
강력한 메시지의
So
영향력이
that is
갈 것
why
같아요.
their
이
message can
친구들에게
resonate.
주어진 이 마이너리티들이 왜
People worldwide in different
BTS나 아니면
conditions.
K-pop 아이돌들의 얘기에 크게 감흥을 하고
Why
어떤
those
액션으로
audience or why the
만들어낸 힘이
fans
있는가?
are
그럼
so
과연
influenced
영향력은
or
똑같아야
touched by
되나? 똑같을
their
필요가
message,
없다는
the
거예요.
BTS's
지금
message?
시대에 맞는 영향력이고 우리가 전혀
Yes, that is
생각지 않았던
influencing
형태의
power
영향력을 보여줬기
in line
때문에
with
저는
the
역사적으로
current
굉장히
times.
의미가 있다고 생각합니다.
So that's why historically this is meaningful.
그 K-팝의 지난 뭐 우리 한류도 마찬가지입니다만 지난 한 30년의 세월을 이렇게 보면은
Looking back to
어떻게
about 30
보면
years of the
우리가
K-pop history,
우리라는 게 여기서 이제 기획사 입장이겠죠. 뭐 그런
we,
플레이어들이
okay, the
원해서
management
이뤄낸
companies,
변화도
entertainment
있지만
companies,
사실은 불가피한 변화도
there
있었다고
we have
생각을
made
해요.
some changes
사실 이런
because
글로벌리즘이라는
we
것도
wanted. However, such
예전에는
changes
단순히
have been inevitable because
한국의 무언가를
of the
외국 사람들에
globalism.
나가 파는 거에 집중을 했죠.
In the
사실
past,
지금도
we
그래요.
just
그래서
focused on
지금도
exporting
뭐
our
얼마를
products and
팔았다,
services to
수출을
other
얼마를
overseas
했다.
advanced countries.
외국
Yes,
사람들이
at the
우리
moment it is
것들을
critical. I mean,
얼마나
the export
받아들인다라는
figures are
부분에
critical.
집중을 했는데
We just
이제
focus on
점점
how
우리가
our content
이
is
글로벌
accepted by
가치의
the global
주인이
audience.
되어가면서
But now we are
당연히 거기서
becoming
우리가
the
느끼는
owner of global
바와
values.
앞으로 생각해야 되는 바는 분명히 다를 거라고 이제
So
생각이
we
들거든요.
have different feelings
근데 이제
and
여기서
different
우리가
thoughts.
불가피하게 받아들이고 있는 변화가 뭐냐면 글로벌과
The
로컬의 이제
inevitable
차이라는
changes,
건데
but the
수많은
thing
다른 생각을 갖고 있는
is that
사람들이
to changes of the
어떤
global
상황
thoughts
가장
and
우리가
the local
대표적으로 뭐
thought.
최근에 무슨 저 팔레스타인에서 벌어지고 있는 사태도 그렇고 러시아 문제도 그렇고
Israel,
그다음에
Palestine,
미국에서도
tragedy war, Ukraine,
그
Russian
BLM
war,
Black Lives Matter가 있었을 때
Black Lives
뭐,
Matters
뭐
movement
그
in the
수많은
U.S.
여러 가지 현상들이 있죠. 뭐 All Lives Matter도 있었고 뭐 별의별 변종들이
All Lives
있었는데
Matters, some
여기서 과연
changed version
뭐 우리가
of
BTS
BRM.
팬이라도 BTS 팬들이 같은 목소리를 낼 수가 있는가? 그리고 그런
All
예민한
the
부분들에
fans
대해서
of
BTS는
BTS
어떤 액션을
can
취해야 되는가라는 부분에 대해서
raise
그걸
their
조사하시면서
a
이렇게
united voice.
고민스럽게 느낀 부분들이 있으셨을
I
것
think
같아요.
you studying this topic. I think you have had some concerns or some challenges. What are those? I think it is fun. I'm living in the U.S.
BTS에게 뭔가 메시지를 기대한다는 것 자체가
Okay, looking at the Black Lives Matters movement now, expecting some message from the BTS. Why is that? Why are we expecting some message from the BTS? In the past, we just thought, okay, the popularity of the group. We never thought of the global influence of the group, of the band. We have never experienced such influence of a musical group to the society. Now, their positions in our society have been changed. Now we are building some different positions of the celebrities. In the process, we'll see different dynamics and different trials and errors. I'm still learning. Why BTS visited the US and why BTS was invited to a renowned kind of event in the US? Are they so influential? Yes, I'm learning it. I'm still learning it.
역동적인 지금 우리가 시대를 살고 있다는
Yes, we are living in a dynamic world. Nothing is decided. We are building everything, I think, literally, right?
근데 궁금한 이거 진짜 사소하게 궁금함이 들어요. 우리
This is
지금
my
글로벌
personal
얘기를
question. You mentioned about global, being
나라마다
global.
혹은 뭐 민족 뭐 아무튼
Each country
그들마다
or each
뭔가
tribe
이
or
뭐
its ethnic
적극성, 참여의 방식, 응답하는 방식이라든지
would
관심
have
있는 문제들이 조금 다른 그런 차이가 있던가요? 한번 통계가
some different issues of interest. Do you have any statistical data
사실 저도 되게 많은
relevant to it?
K-pop 팬분들이 함께
I have
하셔서
never had I never conducted some statistics survey.
근데 이제 아무래도 특히 인도네시아 쪽이 K-pop 커뮤니티가 또
Indonesia, there is a big K-pop community, and air pollution is one of the key issues in Jakarta. Yes, the country is directly exposed to the climate change issue. So they agree with the cause of the campaign. That is why they take the lead in the campaign.
또 새롭게 준비하고 있는 캠페인
Is there any specific campaigns that you have in your mind for the future? Is that okay? Yeah, sure. Well, this year, we're going to get into. Well, actually, this year we actually involved ourselves into non-K-pop industries to some extent, but next year we're going back to the K-pop industry because many are working so hard to promote the K-pop industries. But K-pop culture is not just enjoyed in Korea, but also at the global level. So we have to take more responsibility for concerts and music shows. So the campaign will be targeting music concerts next year. Well, the campaigners are really, really skillful in speeches. You're so fluent and proficient in your words. And Professor Kim and Ms. Lee,
지금 우리가 지금 경험하지 못했던 새로운 국면에서
thank you so much. And they are talking about how we can tackle the environmental issues and other social issues. We're talking about globalization over and over again, but the globalization has been referred to as westernization to some extent. And westernization, in one sense, is actually Americanization, although we didn't really speak it in public. So now we have to think about the agency of globalization. We have to put ourselves at the center of globalization. What can we as Koreans do for globalization? And this is a new trigger to make a change. Well, cosmopolitan, the word is now coming back once again as the emerging word in Korean society. So cosmopolitan is not just about same fashion across the world, right? So the fandom and K-pop's joining in globalization were quite impressive. Thank you so much, YouTube speakers. Please give them another big round of applause. Okay, thank you so much. So with this session, we were talking about the popular culture and the promotion of universal values. So the chair said that the fandom was so powerful because they have positive experiences, and thanks to the experiences, they have been spreading more positive messages. Thank you so much, speakers and Chair Kim Young-dae. So the first session is now ended, and the second session will get started at 1:30. Sandwiches and refreshments are ready and available in the lobby. So please help yourself, and those who are participating online, please enjoy your meal, and I'll see you at 1:30. Thank you.